Next Legacy.
Fenty Beauty by Rihanna was created with the promise of inclusion for everyone, with an unmatched offering of shades and colors for all skin tones. You'll never look elsewhere for your beauty staples. Danaya Azure Radio is now sponsored by Fenty Beauty. Browse their foundation line, lip colors, and so much more. All you have to do is go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. And click on the link that says Next Legacy Fenty.
Next Legacy.
Hey everybody, this is Tomiko Dixon, the granddaughter of the blues. And we're about to turn it up for you guys, right here from Chicago.
Period. Tomiko Dixon. How are you, mama?
Listen, baby, I am doing better than most.
Yeah.
I am doing better than most. I have no complaints. Everything is just coming together. The blues is alive and well and thriving, and everybody's sticking together. I'm so happy. About time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited. Blues Fest is next month. And
yes, it is, baby. Oh, and I got the Blues Fest kickoff, baby. Buddy Guys Legends, June the 5th. It's Big Lou and the Golden Voice Foundation coming in to raise money for our new and improved Chicago Blues Hall of Fame, which is August the 4th. Yes, and both events will be at Buddy Guys Legends. So that's June the 5th, Blues Fest kickoff, and then we got the Blues Hall of Fame, August the 4th. So it's going down, girl.
Oh, it's going all the way down. So in case y'all don't know who the phenomenal Tomiko Dixon is, she is one of Willie Dixon's incredible grandchildren. She's a singer-songwriter. Oh my goodness. Recording artist. There's so many titles, child, so many titles. So at what age did you start singing and performing?
Oh wow. My mom would have me say when I was 5 years old, I was singing every commercial on television. Professionally, I would say about 2008, I started trying to do something. By 2010, I was writing, because that effort didn't go too well when I first started out. So I was like, I need to write some songs of my own to kind of feature my voice instead of being compared to other people. I say by 2016, I was crowned the granddaughter of the blues, and we've been rolling from there.
I love it. The granddaughter of the blues. That is a huge, huge title.
Yeah, it's very accurate because my grandfather, Willie Dixon, is known as the Godfather, or he's known as the blues, and I'm his granddaughter, so it's like perfect. Granddaughter of the blues, the name of my company is Grand Blues Music, and we've been rocking and rolling since 2008.
Yes, absolutely. So what has been one of the obstacles that you've had to overcome, being the fact that you were already in the industry, because you grew up in this?
I think one of the obstacles that I had to overcome, well, it was many obstacles, first of all. But the main one was learning how to deal with the elders in the industry and having more compassion about how they feel about passing the torch to us young people. And it had to be done in a compassionate way.
I love how you said that, because I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have when it comes to music in general, is young people don't understand that it's not as easy, for people to pass the torch. But at the same token, we need to make sure that we are showing our elders, the ones who came before us, love and respect that they deserve.
Yep.
And assisting them whenever they need assistance.
Exactly. Yeah, not just kicking, you're old, get off stage, it's my turn now. No. It's the way you do it together. Because the young people need the guidance and the elders, they need to stay relevant. And so you working together is what works. That's what my grandfather always did. He would come out with the new generation of blues, and it would be the old timers taking out the new generation. And that's something that I want to say the whole industry has stepped away from for a while. But it's starting to come back, because if you don't do it that way, it's not going to work, and it's going to die. And they are realizing that it's kind of dying now after the pandemic and different stuff. You don't have as many venues. Everybody competing over a buck. At some point, you have to come back together again. And I think this is where we are right now in America.
Exactly. It's about building that generation of artists coming together to see how many similarities that we have compared to how many differences that we have. We have so many things that are similar, especially when it comes to our styles, because of course we learned our sounds, we learned our rhythms, we learned our energy from our elders in this industry. There's no question about that.
And then even this, even being more open-minded as far as the different races doing blues and keeping it alive as well. At the end of the day, we all in this melting pot together, and I think as long as the other nationalities and races, as long as they pay homage to the blues and realize that this is our music, okay? It came from the struggle, our blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors.
Let's talk about that part, because I think that's what I wish that all genres of music that love to get, how do I say this? That love our music. I say love us.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's really love and compassion for us, and we need to look at it from a different perspective, and they need to look at it from our perspective to understand why we feel the way we feel about the music, but at the same time, coming from where I come from, I come from a family of songwriters. So as a songwriter, you want everybody to do your song. You don't care what color they are, right?
Absolutely.
But at the same, as an advocate of blues and Black civil rights and different stuff like that, I have to always think about my people and the lack thereof and how they're being left behind. And at the end of the day, hey, it was some whites there that helped us through the Underground Railroad, let's not forget that, right? And it's going to be some that's going to come and help us gain our music back. They're going to give it back to us because they have to. Everything in this world came from somewhere else, and it comes from somebody else. And as long as we can kind of like get that pride and get the anger out of the way, we can move forward. And that's just my perspective of it. Some people agree, some people don't. But my method of madness has been working. And I support everybody that want to support blues, because it's about keeping it alive. And we need to keep our genre of music alive. If we can't do it, we need some help. And we want their help.
Most definitely.
I know I do. I want everybody's help, okay?
You want everybody's help, because you want the people that are going to love the blues. Yeah. Because let's be very clear, the blues started a lot of genres of music.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
Including country. So they don't want to acknowledge it, but
no, I think they know it and they acknowledge it, but at the same time, they have taken it and made it their own. Mm-hmm. And this is something that we need to do. We need to look at what they did, and we need to do the same thing. How about that?
Most definitely.
Yeah, because you ain't got time to be hating on what somebody else doing. Let's do what you for to do.
Exactly.
It's so many paths and so many examples of how things need to go in order for it to work. We can look at their example and we can come up with something for ourselves as well.
Most definitely.
Yeah, because a lot of people say we're going to take country back. I don't think you're taking country back, because they're not going to give it to your ass like that. But you can get involved. You can start something on your own. If you want to complain about all the different organizations and their rules and how they're running their business, then you need to create your own organization with your own rules and run your own business. You can't come in somebody's company and tell them what to do with it. How dare you?
Right.
So, at some point, you got to take responsibility for how you feel, because I'm one of the people, I'm like, okay, I need to get this. How do I get this? Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about who in the way. I'm trying to figure out how to get around them so I can get what I want.
Yes.
And that's the type of perspective you have to have in this world, because everything is so far gone. We're like the sixth generation of the slaves that came here to America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what are we gonna do? That's the
Exactly.
question. We
What are
can't
we
talk
gonna
about who
do
fumbled
to
the ball
change
before
history?
us. We can't talk about none of that. We can't talk about who fumbled the ball before us. What the generation before us didn't do. What are we gonna do?
Exactly. What are you
Yeah,
going to do to make a difference? What are you going to do
exactly.
to create generational wealth? What are
That's
you
right.
going to do to keep your history, to keep our history alive, so that our brothers, our grandchildren, and everyone will be able to tell the story of how we thrived through
Mm-hmm.
adversity and we changed the world.
And we did. We
And
changed
we
the world.
definitely changed the world. There's no
Yeah,
question about
and
that.
we continue to.
Yes, we
We're
continue to
creators.
change the
We're
world.
always creating something to be innovative. And then you have people that create, and you have people that monetize it. What we need to do is start monetizing our own creation.
Cause look, cause I'm not gonna say no names, but these DSPs, I'm just gonna say it blanket statement. These DSPs are just completely monetizing all the music that they're not even fathoming the idea of writing. There are too many people that are getting paid off of the artists that are not the artists. It makes no sense. I was like, wait, how does that break down? Because when you look at the numbers, you're like, the math is so not mathing. I'm so confused right now. Because back in the day, you'd make your album, you'd press it up, you'd sell it, you'd get, maybe if you had the whole album, it'd be like $10 a pop, And the granddaughter of the blues, Tomiko Dixon, is my guest on Danaya Azure Radio. I was talking about the fact that we need to be able to understand that as much as we create, we definitely need to start monetizing, because everybody else is monetizing off of us. So what are we gonna do to be able to take our power back? When it comes to country music, what I was thinking is not necessarily that we're taking it back as more that we're making it our own, which is exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, because they took it and they made it their own. Just like
Mm-hmm.
rock and blues had a baby called it rock and roll. They took that and they made it their own.
Mm-hmm.
But for all of the songwriters and different stuff like that, they love the fact that those young kids came and did those songs and made these families wealthy. So it's you got to take the bitter with the sweet.
Yes.
You can't want to use people for one thing and then say you don't want to use them for nothing.
Right.
But it's just that because we never got reparations, and because of other things, everything is wrong to us. And it is. It's still the same way. Nothing has changed too much, but our level of knowledge have changed. What we don't do is stick together. And then in some cases, if we stuck together, it'll probably make it worse. So, it just got to be the right group of people that's doing stuff. Everything ain't for everybody.
Yes,
I had to learn that the hard way. Yeah.
So, are you allowed to talk about some of the artists that you've written for?
Yeah, I am, sure.
Yeah. So, who are some of the famous people that you've written for?
I've written for a lot of the blues artists. I've collaborated more, so I call it a collaboration more than me writing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever I send out my material and work with other artists to me, and they're going to sing the song, I give them a piece of the song. That's the beautiful part about working with me.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've worked for and with several people in different ways. Because I'm a songwriter. I'm also a publicist and a producer and an engineer. So I've worked with everybody, from the Duke of Earl to the Shy-Lights, to the Pointer Sisters, to local artists, Keith Hudson, who's another one, The Emotions. It's countless of people that I've worked with and for whatever different reason it was. If it wasn't me helping them collect their royalties, it was me giving them advice, or it was me helping them with their production and or writing for them. Yeah.
No, that was how I met you. When you were working with the Royalty Company. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was working with JB Ross. Yeah.
JB Ross.
So, Royalty Retrieval, which was a really fun time in my life. I started working with JB because he needed someone that he can trust. He was getting older, and he needed someone that could negotiate for him and be a liaison between him and the African American community. And so I was perfect for that because I want to see my people get their money, and he wanted to help them. And that was like the perfect
Exactly.
fit. Yeah. It's perfect fit.
So explain what it felt like the very first time that you were able to help an artist get their royalties.
It felt like about time, and I realized that I had a job to do that I'm still doing to this day. What I really realized was that you have people that like to be the artist and the entertainer, and you have those that like to run the business. It's very seldom that you find someone that can do both, because being an artist is very demanding, especially if you're popular. If you're not popular, then you have time to, negotiate for yourself and different stuff like that. But a real good artist that's popular, they need people to help them, people that they can trust to help them manage their money and to handle their business for them. That's what I learned.
What do you think is one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of new artists make when they get into the business?
Not knowing the business and relying on someone to do it for you. That sounds funny, don't it?
Right, because
But that's the biggest mistake you can make. Because if you're not handling your own money, you don't know how much is coming in. You don't know what you're getting paid for. Anybody can steal from your ass. And I mean, the way the music industry is, most of the people in the music industry made money because they stole it. It was never honestly made, not too many times, right? But like I said, you have the artist that wants to become famous, and they haven't even done a copyright. They need somebody that can do that stuff for them, and it's very hard to find.
So that being said, what's more important for an artist to get first? An accountant or a manager?
The first thing an artist should do is learn how to copyright their music, set up their own publishing, and possibly record themselves. Whatever it is that they need from the industry, they need to know about it and know how to do it themselves so they won't get cheated or cut a bad deal. They need to know their worth. And the only way to know your worth is to know how much can be made off of you and what it is that you're doing. Having a manager comes afterwards.
You're the first person that I've asked that question to that said record yourself.
Yeah, you need to learn how to record yourself, because if whatever you don't know, you got to pay for. You need to know how to read a contract. You need to know how to negotiate a contract. You need to know how to write a contract. You need to know how to interpret things and break it down so you can understand it. And you need to not be shy and ask people, what does this mean? What does it mean to you?
Yes.
Because an and and an or in the contract can just change the whole meaning of everything. I've had people send me contracts with multiple choice questions on them.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was so funny, because if I sign this thing and I send it back, they can just click a box.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can scratch it out, but the box is clicked. So who's going to be right? You or this big label that got millions of dollars and you don't, and you can't win in court. Like, who's going to win?
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's so many people that want to be famous. I still run into people that put their stuff on the internet and they don't even copyright it.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, but for some reason they think it's okay. And it is okay until somebody steal it and you can't go on and claim it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, until it went viral and you made zero money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think the first thing that an artist should do before you get into the business, you should learn the business. You should learn anything that before you do it, don't you think?
No, definitely.
Yeah, that's like the main thing you should do. And if you see that you cannot comprehend this, but you got a beautiful talent and you still believe in yourself, and you know you cannot comprehend this, then you need to try to find the right person, somebody like me that you can trust, Because it ain't a lot of us, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
People will rip you off in real life. They'll rip you off and not even care about it. They'll rip you off and come back and ask you for something else. Like
Ooh,
nothing ever happened.
come on.
Yeah, it's real serious out here. You know, it's a $1 billion industry, $1 trillion industry.
Yes.
And most of the people that made money, they made money from people that didn't know the business. Artists that didn't know they were signing, they got $1 million deal and never saw a dime of it. They got some clothes, and that was it. So, and what's so crazy is that it still go on today. It's just repeating itself. So people have not learned.
Right, because they're still signing those contracts without reading them. They're still signing those contracts, and they're not understanding that especially the 360 ones, they're taking everything,
Yeah, literally.
including your endorsement deals.
That's because they don't understand the business. You should learn the business. Whatever business you want to get into. If you want to own a bar, if you want to own a grocery store, if you want to own a pet shop, whatever, you need to learn the business. What licenses do you need to have? You know, what is it that you own? How many ways do you get paid off of this? You know, it's all the same. There's no different. There's nothing difficult about this. It's all the same. Intellectual properties, personal properties, it's something that's yours that you want to sell or give away for free. You decide.
Most definitely. And the granddaughter of the blues, Tomiko Dixon, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So, it's funny that you say that. I think, though, the one thing that I tell artists all the time, when you go into the recording studio, I need y'all to have a flash drive or a hard drive with you. Do not let these people keep your music.
Well, you need to get it in writing before you go into the studio. Because if you don't have a clear contract with photographers and the recording studio, anyone that's getting any type of intellectual property on you, so it doesn't matter if you bring a hard drive at all. When I go and record with anyone, I do a contract with the engineer in the studio to make sure that I get my masters. I want all the mess ups. I want everything. Now, some places won't record you. They'll be like, "We're not doing all that," but I don't know what to say about that.
Then you find the ones that will.
I would deal with the ones that will.
Exactly, because the thing is that when the engineer that you're working with says that they want to keep your masters and that's the first sign of trouble. No, those
And you know,
masters
I'm the
belong
type
to
of
you.
person we can work something out. You want these masters? We can work something out. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale. It can be licensed. If you pay me enough, I'll let you have the masters.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
I
not
mean,
get
look at the music. Let's be for real. Look at the music industry. Where are artists making money from? Because it ain't the recordings.
Nope.
Okay, then. You see what I'm saying? What are you
Yeah.
selling? Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah. You're not getting it from the recordings. You're typically getting it from licensing deals.
licensing deals and or you performing live or
Yes.
your sponsors and whatever else you can pick up, other businesses that are hiring you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they hire you because of the music. You know, so it's like it's slow money, but it's money, you know. So that's why you should try to get a deal. You should try to get as much money as you can get up front, but you want to actually see some of the money. You want to
That
kind
part.
of control where you record it, you know. Hopefully come in with your own recording capabilities where they don't have to send you to these $1 million studios. But then again, new artists, they want to collaborate with all these big name artists to make themselves look bigger. So you basically do an exchange, fame in exchange for money.
But just
You
know that
decide
as
which
you're
one you
going
want.
in, right?
Yeah, it's not like it used to be. I think before the Prince era and all that stuff, before we started having CD Baby and different stuff like that, record labels really invested in artists. But then the record labels got let down because I mean they're in business to make money. They're not in business so you can become rich. They're in business so they can become rich. So when it came to the point where a lot of different artists wanted to be independent, they wanted to make their own money, the record labels just got smart and they invested in all of those independent distribution places that you go to, like Apple, Spotify. Who do you think own all of those things? The record labels.
Yep.
So either way it go, you still paying. Are you going to get them to work for you is the question. So nowadays they don't have to work for you. They could just sit back and make their money and offer you. And they don't need to give you a bag of money. But if you are lucky enough to get that type of deal, you and your management, that's where it comes back to knowing the business. You need to try to negotiate that. Negotiate something where you can get some of that money. Because that's most likely all you're gonna get. You know how long it'll take to pay off millions of dollars, and royalties is 7% of a penny.
Look,
you will never pay them back. So,
yeah, I don't know if
that's why
that
you need
number
to know
you just said. 7% of a penny. I don't even know. I'm still trying to understand how that's legal.
It's legal because listen, I have a store and I'm not even popular. I just have a store and you want to come and sell your music, put it on consignment in my store. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is how much I'll pay you. That's it. You either want it or you don't. Some people decide not to distribute on certain places that pay that much. They'd rather distribute somewhere that pays higher. But as far as being an artist, you have. My suggestion would be to get your music everywhere. You want it available everywhere, unless you can do a private deal with Apple or something like that, or with Spotify, where your music can only be played there. And then you can make some money. That's why I said it's all about the negotiation. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of people that have deals like that. They have a deal directly with Apple Music. You can only get their music off Apple. And Apple they pay them for that. That's the Apple is the record label. But people don't, you don't look at it that way. So it's very important to know what you're doing before you start doing it. Don't find out the hard way because you got messed over.
This is why it's so important this goes back to the whole thing about each one teach one. This is why it's important for the younger artists to reach out to the older artists. So you can
ask for some advice, Exactly. But you got to remember, a lot of the older artists, they don't know. You have to talk to older people that own labels, that managed artists and different stuff like that. Because most of the older artists, they got messed over themselves, so they ain't got too much. They can. Well, I guess they can tell you what not to do.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Say what mistakes they made.
If you talk to them, you're gonna be scared to cut a deal. You ain't gonna make no money. You talk to them because the way they got messed over back in the day, girl, please. You'll be scared to cut a deal. Like a lot of people are. I meet a lot of people. I don't want no record deal. I'll be like, oh, okay. I don't even argue with them no more. I used to try to talk them into it. I don't do that. When they come to me and they tell me they do, I tell them how to do it.
Right.
Yeah, because it's so many. So I don't have a lot of time to just study on everyone like that. When I see someone that really, really, really get that potential, and I see they serious and they out here investing in themselves and stuff like that, I tend to kind of go more in their direction because they pretty much there, and I don't want them to give up, right when they're about to strike. Mm-hmm. But the rest of them, they need to go back to school. Because me talking to them, it doesn't help because they don't understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
They simply don't. They're like, well, why can't it go this way? Because that's not the way it is.
So when you're looking to work with an artist, what are some of the things that you're looking for?
I'm never looking to work with an artist, first of all. Gotcha. I'm never looking for that. I just do what needs to be done. The artists that I do choose to work with, I look for something about them that I think will be successful. Yeah, because I can't come in the door with something that's not. Because what'll happen is, I won't be able to come through the door no more. They'll be like, Tomiko keep bringing these BS artists, man. I don't want to see her. But if every time I walk through the door, I'm bringing something good, I'm bringing some money, I'm bringing a hard artist, and they look forward for me coming through the door.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, the example has already been put there for everybody. Look at who's successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to strive to be.
And let's be clear about success. Success is not just having your song and your record on a couple songs on the radio. Successful is having a career where you're able to make a living off
Exactly.
of touring the world.
Yes.
So, getting out of the city. Like, I need people to understand Chicago's cute, but you want to be able to go around the world and do what you love.
You want to be able to say, hey, listen, I feel like coming outside, and everybody is they're going to do whatever they got to do to get there to your show.
Yes.
That's successful.
That is so true.
Yeah, because I mean, I know so many people that have spent so many years in music, and I love when they come to give me advice, because I really do take their advice, and I match it up with what they're doing, because in this business, you only as good as the last thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
Because people tell me, oh, you did this, you did that. I've done so much stuff, girl, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember everything that I've done. I remember stuff that's in the press because I see it all the time, but I've done so much, I don't remember that stuff, And like to me, my biggest competition is me, because I have to outdo the last thing I did. If I had a big festival for my birthday and I have another birthday party, they're gonna be looking for something big again,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, like, since that's how the business is, you can't get hung up on, oh, I just dropped this album. That album was number one. Okay, that album was number one. That was so last year. What are you doing now? That's the way it is. So while you dropping that album for this year, you should be getting ready for next year too.
Yes.
Yeah. You drop the album, you do a tour, you release a book, a clothing line. You need to do as much as possible to try to stay as popular as you can and make as much money as you can before that little flare go out. And if you're lucky, the flare never go out. You would be like Madonna.
Yes.
And Dolly.
It's about being timeless. It's about making sure that people recognize you 10, 20 years later.
Yeah, and Diana Ross.
Yes.
Certain people, you say they coming out, baby, everybody named Mama. Smokey Robinson, that's another one.
Oh my God, Smokey, yes.
Yeah. You're never going to hear that Smokey had a show and didn't nobody show up. I don't think so.
No.
Even Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And if you notice, they don't come out all the time, and they don't associate themselves with a whole bunch of different people either.
No.
BB King was like that. Buddy Guy's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
And they stay booked.
Yeah, they stay booked. Yeah, they book whenever they feel like being booked. Hey, listen, I feel like working. They calendar full. Yeah. So you can see, you got the example is laid out for you. All these people have written documentaries and books, and you can check them out on YouTube, and you can check out their story and what they had to go through. And you need to, if you're an artist, you should implement that stuff in your life. They telling you how it go. Don't be too prideful to say, I'm not going to do what he did. What he did work. You need to be doing what he did.
Yeah.
Now the times are a little bit different. Back in the day, they had CDs. They was peddling, physically making friends. But you got the internet now where you can reach multiple. I became popular off of Facebook. Nobody knew who I was. My grandfather had been dead for years. Nobody care about none of that stuff. But because on Facebook, I met so many people, and people introduce you and a lot. The social media is an amazing thing. You can get around the world really fast. You can sell a lot, and people have never seen you sing before. Right off the internet.
And this is why your digital footprint is so important. This is why you need to be careful what you associate yourself with online, because of exactly what she just said.
Yeah. I had some rappers come to me in Inglewood, because I come from Inglewood in Chicago, so I still hang out there. My family has a food pantry there on, on 67th in Peoria, right? It's called Shepherd's Hope, the Inglewood Community Center. And so I had some rappers, and I guess some of the rappers was part of one gang, and then you have their competition, which is part of the other gang. And so they're like, well, I'm like, well, why can't I just get all these rappers together? They're like, oh no, you can't do that. So they're like, well, if I book these one set of rappers, then they're gonna think that I'm affiliated with this one set of rappers, so I'm automatically against the other set of rappers. I said, oh no, that's too much for me. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
I said that one I can't do
Right.
because I'm into making money. I'm not picking nobody's side.
Exactly.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. Ain't none of that. I'm into money so I can help my people. The more money I make, the more money I can help. I have to help everybody because that's what it takes. You got to grease a couple of palms sometimes.
Yes, yes.
So anything just like in the way of that, I'm not interested in, you know. But I do support. I love rap music. I shake my tail and, you know what I'm saying, twerk and everything else, just like the name. Drink margaritas, just like the next person.
Yes, yes.
But you know, my brand doesn't lend itself to like shooting up the club and stuff like that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. When everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy is going to be that. My legacy is going to be that I helped a lot of people that needed it, and they were grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what my legacy would be. I've already accomplished everything that I said I want to do. I said I want to be famous. Check that off. I wanted to be a singer. Check that off. I want to be a songwriter. Check that off. Outside of me being a nurse, that was something that was on my goal list, but I'm not interested in doing that anymore. But I do help a lot of seniors and stuff like that. But other than that, I done checked off everything. Right now, I'm just being of service to the blues community and to the world. And that's what makes me happy. So I don't know what they're going to call me in the end. Yeah.
Some people are definitely going to call you an angel because what you have been able to do in getting people's royalties back, you've been able to give people back their legacy. So I want to say thank you for that because there are so many artists that are now able to give their music back to their children and their grandchildren, and give the royalties back so that they can, you know, thrive off of that and in turn pay that forward. So thank you for the amazing work that you do and you've continued to do. Thank you for everything that you have done for the blues community around the world, but especially in Chicago. I truly appreciate you.
Well, thank you for recognizing it. Hopefully I can help some more people before I retire. Because that's the main thing, just trying to get them all. And things take time, you know. Like
Yes.
stuff that I wanted to happen 5 years ago, it's actually coming to fruition now. And I'm like, okay, we got to do this because it's here now. You said you wanted it. It took 5 years, but it's here. So let's make the best of it. And that's all you can do. You know, I found my purpose in life and what makes me happy. And that was just everything. That was everything to me. 42, I know my purpose. It gets no better than that. So what else can I do but try to put a smile on somebody else's face? You know, in my life, it wasn't always easy, you know, growing up in the family that I'm a part of and just being from Chicago and being a Black woman, you know, from a single mother. And my mother did the damn thing, I must say. I didn't understand that when I was younger, because I thought I knew everything. And I just knew that my mama couldn't possibly understand what I was going through. But come to find out, she went through all that way before I did. Like she told me, before there was the granddaughter of the blues, baby, it was the daughter of the blues. Oh, yeah, she checked me. And I just noticed as I get older, you know, the main thing is to be of service. I think that is the lineage of my family. My grandfather did it. My grandmother did it. Those that are related to me, I see that they do the same thing. And we're just going to keep it going because it takes that. When I was younger, it took for one of my friends' moms to feed me, you know, when we didn't have something to eat and different stuff like that. So because people were nice to me, I experienced that in life, and it helped me go forward. And that's what I want to give to other people. That's what truly makes me happy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's something else too, because you have to learn how to not be selfish and give to others. So it's a battle doing it too. Because I was
Yes.
like, should I do this for this person? They don't deserve it. And it's like, it's not if they deserve it or not. You just do it. You do what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, you will be famous and popular. I am a example of that. Yeah. I'm telling you. So if you're really looking for that, and I learned so I was already living my life like that, but then I looked at the story of Bill Gates, and I'm like, he's a philanthropist. What does that mean? And he gives away everything. He doesn't keep anything. People are like, this guy is crazy. Ain't no way in hell I give up all my money. But it's not the money that you need. It's the bartering power.
Right.
It's real friends is what you need.
Exactly. Real relationships.
Yes. Right now, if I need something, I'm taken care of. And
Exactly.
I don't have physical money at all. People will look at me and say, this girl is rich. No, I just have friends that take care of me because I take care of other people. And that's really what it is.
That's beautiful.
So I know it sounds kind of weird, but it works for me. I don't know. Maybe more people get on the same page and we can all just help each other.
Right? Absolutely. Go ahead and talk about your fundraiser real quick, and then go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and most importantly, book you.
All right. So I'm going to mention again that we got the Chicago Blues Fest kickoff. Big Blues Fest kickoff and fundraiser at Buddy Guys Legends, and that's going to be June the 5th, starting at 9 o'clock. If you guys are in town early, you can check out the Delmark Records Women in the Blues showcase, where my girl Carly Sky and a whole bunch of others will be on that showcase as well. And then we have the Blues Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is Sunday, August the 4th. That's going to also be at Buddy Guys Legends. You guys can check me out on Facebook, Google me, Instagram, TomikoDixon.com. I want to give a shout out to Whole Music, EJ Olette, and the Josie Awards for nominating me as the Artist of the Year. So that's really cool, out of Nashville and the Grand Ole Opry. And I have a new single out, which is a remake of my grandfather's song, Jungle Swing. Been trying to get that song recorded all my life, and it's finally done. And I have another song out called The Real Thing that you can listen to for free. All my music is for free. If you would like to buy it, you can off of iTunes and different stuff like that, but you can stream it for free off of YouTube and Spotify and all of that stuff. And thank you so much for having me on your show today, girlfriend.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Yes, make sure you guys are following Tomiko Dixon on all social media platforms. She is amazing. I cannot wait to see you, Buddy Guys. And just thank you again for everything.
Yeah, and one other thing, if you are an artist and you do need some help with whatever it is you're doing or some guidance, y'all hit up Daniela and she'll make sure that you get to me, okay?
Hey, that's what's up. Yes. Thank you so much for coming on. I truly appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you, and I love you. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you guys. You and y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all make me so proud.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
The blues are real. That's all I know. I'm a blues baby, so I rock and roll. Just like my daddy, I'm born to sing. Ain't nothing better than the legacy.
Do you love American music? Have you ever heard of The Turkey Fought Back, Twerking with a Twang, or A Song About Us? Danaya Azure Radio is now sponsored by UncleRhino.com. You can check out all of these incredible international hits and grab some phenomenal merch at www.UncleRhino.com. They have gear for the entire family. T-shirts, hoodies, koozies, travel mugs, mouse pads, and so much more. That's www.UncleRhino.com. Tell them Danaya Azure sent you.
Run wide open till the day I can't take no more. Run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Every day the world is turning, both ends of the candle burning. Won't be no lollygagging, got rockets on my wagon. If you're gonna ride, better jump on board. And you and I will fly and run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Run wide open till the day I can't take no more. People like to tell me that it's time to slow it down, but I roll to the rhythm of my own drums. I can't help it if it makes a jackhammer sound, and I run wide open till the day I can't take no more. Run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Every day the world is turning, both ends of the candle burning. Won't be no lollygagging, got rockets on my wagon. If you're gonna ride, better jump on board. And you and I will fly and run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Run wide open till the day I can't take no more. I work to live, I don't live to work, and I live for having fun. Just this old guitar and 1,000 friends, and I'm spitting out these rhymes like a Gatling gun. And I run wide open till the day I can't take no more. Run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Every day the world is turning, both ends of the candle burning. Won't be no lollygagging, got rockets on my wagon. If you're gonna ride, better jump on board. And you and I will fly and run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Run wide open till the day I can't take no more. Run wide open, pedal to the metal till it hits the floor. Run wide open till the day I can't take no more.
Next legacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya Azure will help you out. What you need is the S4S jewelry collection by Danaya Designs for You. S4S stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Designs for You jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Next legacy.